Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild. I started building, or not building, I removed stuff from the trailer of this truck, built a platform on it, and we have space now for a container. So with this and the exact width and all that stuff of these containers, I can park one up here, connect it to the truck, and yeah, drive it around. I even managed, I just did that, to put a connector below that. So if we, for example, have something in the container that needs to be dumped out, we could make, a collector, pit, not necessarily a pit, maybe have some collectors in the bottom. And then we could dump everything out if we really need that. The truck needed not modification. I needed to work on the driver assist script that is still running on this truck, and it still works. So it is still effective. I needed to up the power a bit. Let me show you how that looks. If you are using the driver assist script, you could just do the same. If you run into issues where the whole thing isn't really doing it anymore, you could take a look at, where is it? The double max power consumption. I brought it up from 1 to 3 to be able to pull the whole thing. I don't know what makes the difference. Must be the different grid, kind of. Because before it just worked fine. As soon as I drop the container on it, and we will do that in a second, we see that this thing doesn't do it anymore. Or it did. How to explain that? It is, I don't know, it seems that the DAS script is managing the power that goes out to the wheels. And if you want more oomph, you can just up that and then everything works. At the moment it is still well balanced. I have the feeling that might change. So I brought, when I built that thing, the hedge in between the wheels here so that it doesn't tip when I put weight on here. So there's leverage kind of in this, and then it would put force into the engine part. I still don't know how that's called. The front truck thing that pulls the trailer. With this, I managed to not have that as much. I still don't know. I don't have a filled container. That's something we might want to do too, and that's something we could do with this connector too. Fill it on the whole thing. At the moment, I'm kind of thinking about how to continue this. I could make a space for a yard for containers. So remove basically, or move the upper station here that holds the containers, put them on flat ground so that we can drive there with the truck and load containers. For now we could just do it with a lifter. That thing works. It let us drop the container onto the truck. So we can just move in, bring it into reach. The thing is, this connector helps with aligning the whole thing. makes it a bit easier to just bring the container down into position, and then we can just turn a bit so that the whole thing is in place. So the container basically rests with the front side towards the back of the truck, so that we, for one, can reach it and the lifter can place it there. I thought that maybe having something like a crane would be interesting, but I kind of said that I would want to leave soon and not stay here. See, you can still see that when I pull on it, the whole backside of the front part of the truck just goes down. But it is not that bad. So now it works. It is not fast. The DAS, the driver assist script, kind of manages it so that the whole thing doesn't drive too fast. It gives slow acceleration to the whole thing. I don't know how it does that, but it kind of keeps the thing from just pulling away. This is a truck, not a race car. How's that called? Quarter mile thing, or not a drag. Is it a drag racer? It's not that. It is not speedy from the line, and it shouldn't be. Later it kind of picks up speed and then it gets gradually faster. So with this we can work now. I still have to work out the front, this bit a bit, just to make it a bit nicer. Otherwise this works pretty easy. I want to do some work on the platform to make it look maybe a bit nicer. Maybe do some connections. I have these conveyor junctions here, or the small conveyor junctions. I'm not sure yet what to really do with it. The whole truck still has the same function as it had before. It had 6 containers on there, still has 6 containers, but now we are modular. We can exchange the containers and make this, if we want, into a truck that drives hydrogen and oxygen around, or something like that. So maybe we could do some of the trips towards the North Pole in this thing. Not that I believe that it would work fine, because the streets up there are not really flat. But it works out fine. I'm working other things out too. I did some work on this truck. I might want to clear out some spaces so that I maybe can store 1 or 2 containers on here. I'm not sure yet. I'm also dabbling around this thing. I'm doing work on this thing. It's just, don't know, trying it out, changing some things, and then maybe reverting it back or not. It's this thing, for example, definitely needs a change when it comes to the wheels. I need to space them out more. I had to change steering angles because the wheels were rubbing up against parts here that, don't know, for some reason I never changed before. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm just working around the base. I'm delaying my departure from here. It's a weird thing. I don't know, but I kind of had no suggestions what to do next. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We need to do some work around Object 85 and maybe Dune. So we might go back, basically circle back around to go to Object 85 and Dune. Object 85 needs something in space, so a dockyard in space, a station that I maybe anchor over the station just to have a place where I can dock some containers to have maybe a small ship dock and stay in space there. And Dune needs repairs, reworks, and I need to build up the palace again. So that will maybe something that I want to do next. I kind of asked myself if I want to test out the water mod. Everybody's doing stuff with the water mod right now, so everybody's building ships and submarines. I have to say, again, I don't trust that thing, and I don't trust it to bring it into my world. So I'm kind of staying away from it. It is... At the moment, it still feels gimmicky to me, and I don't want to risk the world with... And I don't know, it's just a feeling. It's not something where I can say that this is definitely happening, but I have the feeling that the bot could be a bit dangerous. I would have to put in a new world, then spawn water on it, test it out there, and it could grind the world to a halt, and I don't want to risk that. So you really have to excuse me to not test out the water mod. I personally don't have real interest in it, and in the end it's my series, and I don't want to cram it in just for views or something like that. So we will not have that, at least not in this world. There's so much things I just should talk about, and I don't want to. So, or I should, but maybe we should fill all the talking with maybe some work. So, good news, everybody. There is now toilets with doors. So somebody on the workshop put out a model of the toilet with doors. But as far as I know, the big problem with them is that, and it was the same problem that Keen had, that doors, the toilets kind of lose their function as toilets. So you can't sit down on them anymore. There is an update to the mod. Maybe they got around that, but as far as I know, that was the problem that Keen had. Why they couldn't put doors on the toilets. So I was not amused by this. I wanted my toilets with doors. But again, somebody has put out a mod for that. So if you want toilet doors, but you don't need the toilet functionality, then you can have that now. I'm not sure what for, but it's possible now. So I wanted to have some struts in here so it doesn't look so open. Let's just... I took a look at this door. The problem with that is it is kind of a multi-part thing. I kind of want big doors for hangars or something like that, and this would kind of fit the whole thing. So if you want airtight gate by Curtin, take a look at that. Let us just take a quick look-see at chipsticks 213. That is the toilet thing. I'm again finally surprised. That's what I always wanted. Again, that was something that was at one point promised, and then just Keem couldn't hold the promise because the toilet wouldn't have been a toilet anymore. You couldn't have sit down. I think there was some talking about prison cell figure out how to trigger alarm. La la la. unfortunately, what kind of is the main reason I don't and publish this before. I've left the logic in, but the sit animation will not work because it's now a different block type. See, that's the big problem, and I'm pretty sure that is what Keen had. The problem that Keen had with it too. That, yeah, sadly, Keen missed the ball by just making it. It's the old compound blocks part. You can't have, at least not in Space Engineers, you can't have blocks, 2 blocks with with functions in one one area of space, it seems. So oh, another thing, and you will see it in front of this video. I spent yesterday was Monday evening, that's why I had no video on Monday, doing some work in Davinci Resolve Fusion. That is kind of the after effect of Davinci Resolve. It's, by the way, at the moment my go-to editing program, and what makes it so great, it's powerful and free. So Davinci is part of Blackmagic. Blackmagic makes cameras, and Davinci kind of is their project to kind of give a lot of incentive to buy their cameras, because they are really well integrated and all that stuff. And that's why they kind of use the Davinci Resolve as marketing tool, and I like it because it's just open to everybody, and it's an amazing. And I don't want to. This is not advertisement, not advertising here. But Fusion is basically the after effects of Davinci Resolve, and you can do a lot of cool stuff with it. I wanted to up my game when it comes to bringing you videos, and one of the things I wanted to do is, finally go into, if possible, 60 frames per second, because I can largely record in 60 frames per second as long as Space Engineers really lets me record in 60 frames per second. So I have the footage in that at least, but I couldn't render my videos in 60 frames per second. So that was a bit of an issue, and it came down to my intro. I made my intro years ago in After Effects and just rendered it and used it just as a video before the video, and it was in 30 frames per second, and I can't change that. So Davinci Resolve says, you have a 30 frame thing in there, so maybe use 30 frames because that's how you should. I again can't do anything about this. Okay, this gives a bit more structure, looks a bit like a snowflake, but it makes it a bit more passable, not so open. And so I wasn't able to do that, and I said maybe I should try to learn a bit of the fusion stuff and go into it, because my intro was basically just sheer luck that I found some predetermined effects that gave me the look. No, I don't know. I just played around with After Effects, found out, oh, it's nice, let me do it this way, and then found the audio for that and all that stuff. Now I wanted to replicate what I have and just make it editable in Fusion. And it's so hard to explain. It basically puts in a package that I can still edit. So if I find anything that I want to do with the intro or something like that, I can immediately do that in Fusion and just work with it and still edit it after, don't know, while using it. And that was not possible because, again, the other thing was a pre-rendered video. That works out. I will put some slopes here to make it look a bit nicer. And I was able to... Again, you saw that. You should have seen it by now because it will be in front of this video. And hopefully you kind of like the approximation of what I had. It will not be absolutely the same, but might be some refreshing stuff to see a different or a newer video, a newer intro. Can I put some... that will not work. So maybe... It looks so flimsy here. Can I change that? Could put some slopes in here. And here, so it gets a bit of a wider base. And then have something here. Here. And again, it gives me the ability to still play around with that. I'm trying to learn something when it comes to doing videos for YouTube still. I'm don't know, for far too long I just did what I always did, and now I need to just give it a bit of a push into improvement. And again, with now my newfound abilities to work with Fusion and a lot of people on YouTube that did a lot of tutorials for that, I'm pretty happy. So was unreasonably proud to be able to watch that yesterday. It was pretty nice. I wanted to have maybe a small cargo container here so that I can access at least the... I can't pull materials then out of there, but I can at least have a bit of an access, see what's in there, and maybe get at least some parts out of the container if it's in there. So this works out fine. Give me a cargo container. Small cargo container. Put it here. Put another conveyor in there and then put some struts in there. So again, the cool thing about the whole thing, and then that's what makes me happy, is that now I have something that I can still play around with. Don't know, update it, put texts in if I want, and all that stuff. It's pretty nice. So I was here. Is that right? That's right. So this. Good. I can still reach up there. Let us put the container back. Test it to see if it's not too... Oh, man, maybe... I could go and... kind of want to have this step goes. So I will maybe go straight up and have another slope here, so that we get rid of this weird slope in there, or the weird... See, it's, I don't know, it's immediately feels a bit better. Let's get rid of that. Because there's no real connection right now, so... Maybe this... And then have... Yeah, come on. It's typical. Typical, I'm running out of energy. I could put something below here. Could have just another set of these to make it look also a bit beefier. See, we have batteries in there that help to keep all the things powered. These should still work, so the... I don't have a button for the pistons, so let me test. Do I have reverse? Yes. Okay, it pushes that up really far, so that I have that so that I can unlock it if needed. That's why this has no connection. It just has the merge block here. This doesn't merge to it, so we can maybe at one point put a programmable block on here to have that thing be able to rename itself. I'll change that in a bit, although I maybe don't want that because this could hit the whole thing. I need a button. I need a button for the thing. Let me know what you think. Again, the intro didn't change a lot. It is still kind of the same intro. I kind of like it that way. But again, let me know if you how you feel for, again, if the I hope that the 60 frames works out. Haven't tested it yet. I couldn't test it really. And let me know what you think of it. It makes a lot more sense for me because now it's just editable and I can change it and again throw things around in it like in Space Engineers. It will change gradually over time. Just suddenly the intro is completely different. Pink color, something like that. I don't know. Good. That looks a bit nicer. Makes more sense. We still have the option to maybe... I thought about maybe putting a collector again on it. I had that before. I had a collector on it so that, I don't know, maybe can collect from other... I don't know, from other rovers or from bases or something like that, and I could just drop it into the top, but it didn't make a whole lot of sense. Another thing I might build with this is another drill ship or something like that, that I can use the containers on. So put a container on it, drill with it, get the container off, put another one on, something like that, so that I don't have to clear it out by script or something like that. Again, it's not really necessary because it's easier to just have ships that are have everything integrated into them, but this would be fun to have. And I can integrate that with the merge blocks. Don't have to use the bottom connectors. Although we will see. See, it's an idea that I just had. Good. Okay, that's done. So this project is done now. I can maybe leave the container here so that I have one. But the main thing will be to now fly back and then head off into a different direction. We can keep working on the container stuff, but again, maybe at a different location, and maybe we do some other things first. Come on, pull it into place. Now let's see if we can line it up a bit better. Hopefully it is straight now. Unlock it, bring that again away, lock the containers on it. It's the only problem is this is container 1, I think. So we leave the first of the containers down here. I can reach it from here. That's a good thing. Now let's see what container this is. I'm pretty sure this is container 1. Yeah, it's container 1. I brought the seat, the first container here. But that's okay. I can just leave that here. This truck is done. I have the same functions, but now with a bit more modularity. Is that a word? I don't know if that's a word. Let us see how it works. So I hope that the whole thing is not too heavy now. I have this problem that it is not good at driving up and down slopes. It's a truck. The trucks are not meant for crazy stunt driving. You see that let me test something out. I wanted to test that out yesterday. If I change the steering here, if that makes stuff neater. Steering on. And steering on. I think I turned that off very deliberately, but now I see that it maybe is not the best idea. Yeah, it makes more sense. It makes more sense. It steers more easily. Easier? Oh, I recently heard a discussion about all this easily, badly things. And I'm pretty sure there's stuff I still can learn from that. So okay, this works out fine. Again, the next idea would be to think about how to no, not how to. The next thing will be go off to a different planet, work there a bit, and maybe if we have done some work that has nothing to do with the containers, we can go back to them and hopefully thank you. That is to close. 3 ready to lock. So works out good. Keep that locked there. I usually put down the landing gears to keep this in place. The good thing is everything still is working out, so we don't need to lock anything down. I think I will just move. Yeah, we will lock this one down. Maybe I will move the rovers that I have brought out back into some place. But I will clear up in between episodes to maybe get rid of some things here, lock down some of the rovers so they don't bounce around or something like that when I'm going away. And I will hopefully then be able to just that doesn't work. 2 2 another block 5 Okay, that is locked down. These will be moved back into place. I want to clear this up. I think the mono wheel will go. I really don't need it. It's just not easy to drive and really doesn't serve a purpose. This thing will stay a bit longer, but I'm not sure if I keep that. This will go back up to orbit, and these again will be moved into place to keep them safe. Otherwise, again, the base is in good shape. I can come back to it and work more on it, give it more power, maybe some more defenses, and all for later. All for later. Good people, I think that is all for today. Sorry for again the rambly buildy episode. I don't know. I had some things to tell, and that's what I sometimes like to do, just to don't know, talk about sometimes about the exciting things I have done and I've achieved, at least for me. So no, I didn't tell you. Oh, that was close. That was too close. Don't know, at least I didn't talk about work. Good people, thanks for watching, I would say. That's all for today. Let me know what you think of the reworked intro, and let me know if the 60 FPS, if everything works out as I wanted to work out, how that worked out for you, if it was visible, and if you like that, and please leave a like on the video. That helps me out, and I hope to see you in the next one. See ya, guys.